Some people go through life feeling like they never really fit in. Maybe that's you. Maybe you've always felt just a little out of place, like the way you see the world doesn't match the way most others seem to live in it. You might have felt this since childhood, or maybe it's something that's grown stronger with time. It's not always easy to explain, but there's a quiet feeling inside, like you're on a different wavelength. While others seem to float through life, you feel everything more deeply. You notice things other people miss. You pick up on small details, a tone of voice, a shift in mood, the unspoken emotions in a room. And while that may sound like a gift, it can also be exhausting. This deeper awareness you have isn't something you chose. It's just part of who you are. It's not about being better or worse than anyone else. It's simply that you experience life in a different, more intense way. Some might call you sensitive or say you overthink things, but you're not doing anything wrong. In fact, you're likely more in tune with your own feelings and with the emotions of those around you. You feel things more. You think more deeply. You care more than most. And because of that, life can feel heavier for you. You don't just live on the surface, you live in the depths. That can be beautiful, but it can also be isolating. Often, people who live this way feel misunderstood. You might try to explain yourself, only to be told you're being dramatic or too serious. You might start to believe something's wrong with you. But the truth is, there's nothing wrong with feeling deeply. You just live in a world that often doesn't know what to do with that depth. Many people are used to staying at the surface level of things. They keep conversations light. They avoid uncomfortable truths. They may never stop to reflect on what they're feeling or why. But you do. You're wired to go deeper. You want real conversations, not just small talk. You want to understand people, their fears, their passions, their pain. You don't just want to be around people. You want to connect with them, soul to soul. That's not always easy, because not everyone is ready for that kind of connection. Not everyone is open to looking that closely at themselves, let alone sharing that part of themselves with someone else. And so, you might find yourself walking alone more often than you'd like. Not because you want to be alone, but because you can't pretend to enjoy things that don't feel real. You've probably tried to fit in before. Maybe you've laughed at things that didn't really make you laugh. Maybe you've stayed quiet when you wanted to speak up. Maybe you've played along in spaces that drained your energy just to avoid being judged. But over time, that starts to wear on you. You begin to realize that hiding your true self is more painful than being alone. So you start choosing peace over performance. You become more protective of your time, your energy, your heart. You stop chasing after people who don't see your worth. You let go of relationships that leave you feeling empty. It's not that you don't care anymore. It's that you care more about yourself now. You've learned that not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Not everyone is meant to sit in the front row of your life. You've grown wiser, not colder. More discerning, not distant. And that's important because people like you, those who feel deeply and love honestly, often give too much too soon. You've probably been hurt by people who couldn't handle your depth. You've trusted people who didn't value your loyalty. You've given your best to people who weren't ready for it. And it hurt. It left marks. But those experiences also taught you something valuable. They taught you what you deserve. They showed you what kind of love you're looking for and what kind you won't settle for anymore. You've raised your standards, not out of pride, but out of self-respect. You know what it feels like to be drained by one-sided relationships. You know how it feels to be unseen, unheard, misunderstood. So now, you move differently. You no longer chase validation. You no longer explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You know who you are. And that kind of self-awareness is powerful. Because of this, You may find that your circle gets smaller. You may spend more time alone. But that's not a sign of failure. It's a sign of growth. You're no longer looking for people who tolerate you. You're waiting for the ones who truly see you, who meet you where you are, who don't flinch at your honesty, who are ready to walk with you in the deep end, not just paddle around in the shallow parts. And yes, it can be lonely sometimes. There will be days when you wonder if you're too much. Days when you wish you could turn it all off, feel a little less, care a little less, think a little less. But deep down, you know that this is just how you're made. You weren't meant to be numb. You weren't meant to blend in. You were meant to notice, to feel, to reflect, to grow. Your sensitivity is not a flaw, it's a form of strength. One of the most powerful things about you is your intuition. That gut feeling that something's off, even when there's no proof. That quiet voice that warns you or nudges you towards something better. You've learned to trust that voice, even when it's hard. Even when it means letting go of things you wanted to work out. Even when it means walking away from people you care about. Your inner wisdom has kept you safe, even when your heart didn't want to listen. And others can sense that about you. They may not be able to put it into words, but they feel it. Your presence brings clarity. It brings truth. Some people will find it comforting. Others will find it uncomfortable. Because when you show up as your full self, you shine a light on things that others are trying to hide. You don't have to say anything, just being you is enough to make people reflect. That's why some are drawn to you, but not everyone stays. It's not because you're hard to love. It's because loving you means being real with you and with themselves. And not everyone is ready for that. But the right people will be. The ones who are meant for you will recognize you when they see you. They'll understand your silence. They'll match your energy. They'll see your sensitivity not as a burden, but as a gift. With them, you won't have to shrink yourself. You won't have to explain or apologize. You'll just get to be. So if you're in a season where you feel alone, where you're wondering if something's wrong with you, remember this. Your loneliness isn't a sign that you're broken. It's a sign that you've stopped settling. It's your soul making space for something deeper, something real, something true. Everything you've been through, the heartbreaks, the disappointments, the misunderstandings, they've all been preparing you. They've been clearing the path. Every time you walked away from what wasn't right for you, you were walking toward what is. It's just taking time. So trust the timing. Trust your journey. You're not late. You're not behind. You're right where you're meant to be. And while the road may be quieter now, it won't always be that way. The connections that are coming will make the waiting worth it. The love that's coming will make the loneliness make sense. The people who are meant for you won't just like you, they'll understand you. They'll feel like home. Until then, keep going. Keep protecting your peace. Keep speaking your truth. Keep feeling deeply, even when it hurts. Keep being real. Keep being you. Because that's where your magic lives. That's where your strength is. And that's exactly what this world needs. You were never meant to be small. You were meant to shine. You are someone who is completely yourself without pretending to be anything else. You don't try to fit in with everyone else, and you don't hide your true self just to be accepted. You don't put on a fake smile to make others comfortable or join in empty conversations just to seem polite. You don't pretend to be interested in things that don't truly matter to your heart. You live with honesty and depth, and that can be hard for others to handle. Some people might think you're too intense, too serious, or too different, but that's only because they're not used to someone who is truly real in a world where so many people are pretending. In a society where many trade their true selves for approval and acceptance, you are quietly doing something powerful just by being yourself. Your honesty makes others question their own masks. You make them think. Sometimes they can feel uncomfortable for them, even if you don't say a word. But don't ever let that make you doubt who you are. Your voice, your real, honest voice, is rare and meaningful. And even if the world is full of people echoing each other, your truth stands out. Just your presence alone can stir something in people. You don't need to speak for others to feel something around you. Your energy is strong, even if you're calm and quiet. There's something about the way you carry yourself, the way you've lived through pain, but still have grace, the way your experiences have turned into wisdom, the way your eyes make people feel seen. For some people, being seen that deeply is scary. You're like a mirror, not because you judge them, but because being around you reminds them of the parts of themselves they've ignored or hidden. That can make them feel exposed. And instead of facing the discomfort and growing from it, they might try to push it away. They might talk behind your back, blame you, or stay away from you. But know this, it's not really about you. It's a deeper, spiritual reaction. You are like a lighthouse, and not everyone is ready to stand in the light. Some people are still hiding in their own darkness. So when you show up, they have two choices: grow or leave. Your presence can be triggering, yes, but it can also lead to change. One day, they might realize you weren't the problem. You were the sign that change was needed. You've been hurt many times. Life has not always been gentle with your heart. You've trusted people who let you down. You've loved people who didn't know how to handle love. You've opened your soul to others, only to be misunderstood, taken for granted, or rejected. And yet, you still have a heart that cares. You still believe in love. That alone is something beautiful. But you've changed. You've learned to protect yourself. Now, you pay closer attention before you open up. You don't speak as quickly. You watch people's energy before you trust them with your heart. You protect your peace because you've given too much of yourself in the past to the wrong people. Now, your love isn't easily given. Your trust is something special. You don't chase after others. You don't force connections. You wait. You observe. Some people might say you're closed off or hard to connect with. But what they don't see is the deep well of love you still carry, waiting for the right person, the safe place. You're not cold. You're sacred. And not everyone should have access to something so precious. You live on a different level now. You're not interested in empty conversations or pointless distractions. You want realness. You want to talk about healing, about growth, about the deeper meaning of life. You want to understand your purpose, your journey, and the bigger picture. These aren't just interesting topics to you. They are your way of living. But when you talk about these things, not everyone gets it. Some people think you're trying too hard or that you're too serious. But this isn't a performance. This is just where you are in life. You're not pretending to be deep. You've simply grown. You've done the inner work. You've chosen to evolve. Because of that, you might feel alone sometimes. You might feel like nobody understands you or connects with you on the level you need. But that's not because you're broken. It's because you're meant to find people who don't just relate to you, but truly resonate with you. You're not here to force shallow connections just to feel less lonely. You're here to wait until the right people come, people who speak the same soul language. And when they do come, it will feel like they've known you forever. Like your souls recognize each other. Before you can lead others, you have to walk your path alone. This is a truth many people struggle with, but it's part of your journey. You are meant to grow in silence, to find strength in being by yourself, to build confidence without needing attention or praise. This part of the journey is hard. It can make your walls higher, make you more cautious, and make your circle smaller. But it's preparing you for something bigger. It's making you stronger so that when you do step into your purpose, you'll be solid. If anyone has ever told you that you're hard to love, don't believe it. The truth is that your love is too deep to be given quickly, too special to be treated lightly, and too sacred to be temporary. You weren't made to be just another face in the crowd. You were made for deeper connections, for meaningful relationships, for real love. That's why your journey has looked different. If this message reached you at the right moment, if you felt seen or understood, know that it's not just words, it's confirmation that clarity and blessings are finding you. You're not just part of a crowd, you're part of a movement. A movement for people who are tired of fake smiles, shallow talk, and living in ways that don't feel real. You are not too much. You are not hard to love. You are simply real in a world that often rewards pretending. You are a reflection of truth in a world full of masks. And even if not everyone can see that now, the right people will. The ones who are ready for truth, who are doing the inner work too, they will see you and they will stay. You're not here to entertain. You're here to awaken. You're not here to fit in. You're here to shine in your own way. So don't lower your energy to meet others where they are. Don't water down your truth. Hold your light steady. The ones who are meant to walk with you, they will find you. And when they do, it won't feel like effort. It will feel like home. Because the right people won't be confused by your depth. They'll feel comforted by it. They'll understand your silence. They'll value your truth. And they won't ask you to be less. They'll thank you for being exactly who you are.